Hello and welcome back. Brief break right here. Syracuse and RT jumping right into it on that other side. Jumping forward here, hard point. Syracuse up 145 to 52. Bobby playing strong off rip. 5-7 for BCL. Celion 11-9 and Stepa 16-9 for that Syracuse side. Tub 2-13. There's Sweet Circle leaving on that 13-14 side. 4-14 for Bob. Syracuse up on that other top section of hardpoint, two coming on that bottom side. You see bottom left. Forward more as they defend it once more. Bobby's on a 10-kill streak. Goes down, almost goes down as I say it. 21-4 lead for them. 10 streak on that other end. And a minute and 31 of time on point. As if that stun once more. BCL holding point goes down to Bob. Faded Crown. Stepa gets to themselves. Bombi moving forward on that other end, and Stepa moving towards that other hard point. Bombi getting one more. Celion getting another. Bombi with now two after a quick respawn. Hard point still going. 22-9 for Stepa, who's got a 6 streak. Back forward again. They go down. BCL gets one more there as Bombi and Stepa, get one more. Faded Crown gets one, but Bombi again, a good Avenger kill. Gets rid of Faded Crown. Back forward as they watch kind of end that top angle. RIT trying to get a top-down approach here on this side of map, but just can't find a way down. Typically high ground wins, but just isn't going as well as you would hope for this orange side. For this Tiger side. Both teams are in the orange, but primary color is the orange for the orange, and BCL has a 5 spree. Back to 11-9. Good streak for them. Stepa at 9 themselves. 6 for BCL, finding themselves on a bit of a hot streak, the captain. 6-19 for Faded Crown. We're on board with. They get one in the form Stepa back on that other side. They back off. BCL trying to catch them. They go down to BCL. 7 for the captain. Back forward. They wait to reclaim point. Back on that other end. Sweet Sickle, gets a quick kill for going down on point. Reclaimed by Stepa of the orange. Faded Crown on that other end. They get rid of BCL and Stepa and Bombi. Good sight clear for RIT as they are down 230 to 66. Hardpoint 40 seconds remain. On this section, one outside, 3:50 remaining in the game. Will likely go to score first. RIT having possession of that point. Syracuse kind of going for a pinch on this end. BCL goes down as they get on point. The 2 streak for Celion. Bombi as well gets 2. They nearly go down. Yes, they do go down. 28-9 now for Bombi as they drop off. Once more, Bombi, Bob, and BCL all get kills. 2 for the orange. 3 for the orange. BCL gets another. Stepa gets rid of Tub. 235-71 for this other side. Minutes 40 seconds remain. Stepa gets one behind them, sees them there, can't turn around in time as they'll go down. Sweet Sickle struggling a little bit, leading that RIT side on time, on point. Defending with 55 seconds remaining in the lounge. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining overall. As Stepa going to back off here with that Syracuse side. We're going to go again for that pinch opportunity. Celion gets caught in that bottom left side of the map, You can see in that bottom left of the screen. They go down to Bob and Stepa, get 2 from the bottom. They get rid of them and the hard point. Now RIT is forced to back off, trying to force in their 2 points, but the 250 mark is reached. Syracuse wins that first round, and it's a good start for the orange. 1-0 there. A quick replay here for Bombi. 30-12 MVP for that orange side as, Clay Pigeon, they go down. And a good job by them, over 3,000 damage. Good best play here is they've got some great acrobatics there. That's Nate Romiston, the broadcast digital journalism sophomore. Tub leading the side of RIT is there. He's 5-21. Sweet Sickle led it in killing with 18-26. Good attempt there from that other side as Syracuse is going to take a brief moment here in between this intermission. They played a very good game there on that starting hard point. They'll move on to Search and Destroy, which affectionately serves as Counter-Strike. One team's trying to plant a bomb, the other one is going after it. In the other end, it's basically attack and defense. Same thing as Search and Destroy has been. If you're not familiar with COD, it essentially becomes capture the flag very quickly. So let's see what they can do in that one, but Syracuse and RIT going to take it in just a moment. Test, test, 1, 2.
Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello and welcome back. Quick intermission there. We'll jump on to Search and Destroy, Will.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you back.
I'm so happy.
A little bit about Search and Destroy. Tell us,
I'm thrilled.
Tell the fans how it really works.
Yeah, I'm
I
thrilled
know
to be
you're
like
you're Mr.
resurrected
Cod.
back into the match. Though Carson, I'll be really happy that you really took it away with flying colors and casting that hard point, just as the Syracuse Orange really plowed through RIT 250, and I think they 100-point clubbed them. But now, new mode, new map, Search and Destroy. So, as Carson mentioned earlier, it's going to be very similar to Counter-Strike, for those of you who know, or Valorant, except minus all the superpowers you get, right? So we have an attacking and a defending side. The attacking side right now is RIT. Their goal is to plant the bomb within that 1 minute and 18 seconds. Once they plant the bomb, they have about a minute or so to defend it or kill everyone else on the Syracuse side. Right now, the first initial pick will go in favor of BCL. So 4v3 situation now for RIT, and bomb still has not gone on that B site.
Bomb laid down with number 1, Tub, as they haven't gotten any eliminations yet. Some kind of pre-frag grenades like CSGO, CS2, whatever you want to call it. BCL gets that first blood. A very good kill on Faded Crown 1. Back on that other end, they push forward. Despite being on that defensive side, they're getting kind of aggressive. You see 2 on that other side. They're playing basically that Scooby-Doo type game mode, and that's going to be 4 right there for the Orange, as they just, wow.
Yeah, I mean, textbook, right? I mean, you see Syracuse Orange just playing that, like, very slow, dictating the pace and reacting really well to RIT's initial push over to B. And the problem with that right alley side, Carson, is, well, if you get pinched in there, there's not really much else you can really do than either go reverse, go straight, or go right into that divot that you see that number 8, Stepa player going through. So overall, Syracuse doing a fantastic job of setting the pace, setting the tone, carrying that energy from that hard point over to the Search and Destroy. And, well, you're looking at him right now, BCL doing a fantastic job himself, picking up those first 2 kills to really set the tone.
Yeah, I'll jump right into it quickly. Syracuse will get round 1 here as the time limit is reached. Despite a 4-0 elimination, I think we're just going to brush over whatever that was. First to 6 rounds is I guess the appropriate way to think of it, best of 11.
First to 6. And honestly, Carson, just seeing what we've saw from the hard point, Syracuse being a really strong gunny team and on Search and Destroy a strong strategy team as well, I don't even know if we'll make it to that round 11. Usually when you see teams that truly excel in hard point and really just give RIT the business, I mean, you start to wonder if they'll be a good Search and Destroy team. But Syracuse, I mean, they've done both. They've done a fantastic job at keeping up the pace and moving quickly, but also slowing things down as well.
Bomb ironically in the hands of Bombi, I guess. Pretty fitting name. They'll throw the plant down on that A site. Two on that other side, one coming forward on that RIT side. They nearly close.
Look at Bob. He's hitting a flank right now, and I don't think anyone from Syracuse can tell. Faded Crown.
Oh.
He's able to take up one, but Bob is still in the back spawns right now of Syracuse and still like a ninja just sneaking around. But Syracuse doing a fantastic job at reacting anything that's being thrown at him. Bob, last alive, finds 1v1 situation, and he clutches up, and he does it. Bomb still has to be defused at 7.5 seconds. He'll take it. RIT will put one on the board.
That's a good trade for the Orange. They get two themselves. The RIT responds very well, and they basically get that one just kind of off rip. Very good job on that defusal, and Bob in that flank, very good route, kind of had unexpected pathing and came back on that other side, and it was just kind of him and Bombi at the end. Bombi could not get him at that lower angle after escaping with his life previously in a fight with Tub.
Well, a lot of people will say, Carson, if you have the high ground, then, well, the mechanics will do the rest. But in that situation, Bombi did have the high ground over that A-bomb site, and wasn't able to do much damage. So Bob, like I said, hitting those flanks, real MVP for that round for RIT. That's the energy they need to come back in this deficit against Syracuse.
4 kills collectively for Syracuse, 4 kills collectively for RIT. They push forward back on that other end. Going to be RIT on the offense here. It switches hands every time. Who gets bomb? Not like a half as stun comes out. No aggression from the Orange despite the stun. Excuse me, yes, there will be. It's a good push by Celion, who gets rid of one immediately. But the aggression, they can't get it paid off. Sweet Sickle gets them as well. As Bombi nearly peeks into the bomb. Goodness me. Good timing there and a poor peek, but still they win it. Good ego as they get one more, but that goes down, unfortunately, to Sweet Sickle as Bombi can't get rid of them. No teammate to reinforce there, as it's kind of an unsafe idea. 2-on-2 remaining. It's BCL and Stepa. That captain waiting with one of the freshmen as they go down. Stepa gets rid of Sweet Sickle. Bob gets rid of BCL. Now it's a one-on-one. Stepa and Bob, take a look at your map. Both on the opposite sides of the A point. They have to plant at some point here. Bob does have that bomb. He could move over to B in time. He's got 26 seconds. Keep that in mind.
He's on a three streak too. So he's got to be really careful with this. If he loses the streak, then he could lose potential of map positioning later on. So he's got to play very conservatively, but also to win the round. 10 seconds to plant the bomb, and it looks like Stepa.
Too long.
Yeah, Stepa might catch him lacking here, and he does. So not only does RIT walking around with the tail between their legs after that round loss, the streak has been denied. Carson Bob is back to 0 with the streak, and Syracuse can worry about nothing when it comes to streaks later on.
Yeah, it's really important that you get that streak going just so you can get those score and kill streaks, but it's a good kind of momentum shifter right there. You go from a one-on-one, and it just, unfortunately, Bob took too much time taking that rotate as Celio just kind of immediately realized at some point that he had been waiting so long at A that it had to have been B because he noticed bomb got picked up.
He was close to planting the bomb too, and just a second or two maybe would have allowed him to slip right out of there. But new round, new page. Who writes the chapter? We'll see in just a couple of seconds here with Syracuse holding bomb tightly in hand. Great trophy placement by Stepa. It is going to pay off.
Both teams have put the trophies in the same spot identically down there, and they just waste 4 grenades as a squad.
Similar coaching, I guess, but now RIT, 4v2 situation. Syracuse getting a taste of their own medicine at the deficit with the lives.
Some aggression from Sweet Sickle coming into that Syracuse spawn. Going to get pinched between two. Can they get something together? As they get two themselves, BCL and Bombi go down. And at the other end, trying to go up top. Find Sweet Sickle, Celion trying to make the most of it. Gets some damage, but can't do enough. 2-2 for them so far this game, but they have to back off now.
Yeah.
Down to only 2 players. They need to kind of keep this aggression tempered and find a way to get on. Stepa leading with that bomb, headed towards the A site. Kind of looking for a one-on-one. Can they find it? Bomb's right there.
He's got to be careful. He's got to get out of there. He's got to wait for the reinforcements to show up. He's by himself at the 4v2 situation, and just like that, Celion finds one. Stepa gets traded. 25 seconds left, about 10 seconds to plant the bomb. I'd say 90% chance RIT wins this round, and yes, the odds will be in their favor. RIT pulling one themselves, and RIT seems like they could just be a search and destroy team. I don't know. Maybe they weren't warmed up for hardpoint, but they're definitely looking alive right now in this series.
Bob leading this team, currently sitting at just under 700 damage with 6-1 as their KD. Got the last 2 against the Orange there. Very good start for them. And you got to love it for them. I mean, if you're a Tigers fan right now, you're feeling pretty good about that one. It's a good start, and they're going to switch sides here. Tub does really need to pick it up for that other side as well. Same for BCL. They just need to kind of put it together and keep everything going.
Syracuse has definitely faced adversity throughout their entire collegiate career, and no one else knows more about that than BCL, so nothing to panic about too much, but here we go. Ball's in the court of RIT. This time, very conservative, playing for that A-bomb side. B is covered right now. B would probably have been the smartest decision at this point, but overall, Selian leading the charge, getting the first pick. He'll get traded out, though, by Sweetsicle. 3v3 situation, and that's the advantage you want to have. Another 1v1's about to entail right now, and Bob is going to lose it. The key game changer is going to bow out early this round.
Bombi with that aggression, can't really temper it sometimes, and it works out often for Nate, though. It's a very good job by him to jump in there and basically just get rid of one. Still waiting behind that tank. Sweetsicle kind of in that other end. Doesn't really know, and they get caught in the same trap, but Bombi goes down. Was there an extra teammate waiting?
Great
so
trade.
Bombi gets two, and it's a good job for him. Done his job, 2-on-1. Has that positive advantage.
Oh my goodness, yeah, and I think they're Syracuse trying to predicting an A-bomb site rush, but they're not really going to be able to do much. Now, eventually, they've kind of woken up and seen B, but by now, Faded Crown is going to just barely slip through the cracks, but now here goes the engagement. They're playing together. He's going to get the first pick. He's caught lacking. Not sure why he has the knife out when he knows Syracuse is going to be around. Syracuse will take advantage of that error and pull ahead 2-3.
Orange have three, as it's been kind of all defense so far. Nobody on the offensive side has won. It's just been a very difficult start for everybody kind of in that other end here on this map. Obviously, you're still learning everything and trying to figure out what it is, but it's not been great so far for either team trying to find that offense, but defense has been excellent. It's come down to the last two players almost every time, though.
Yeah, and that's normal, right? I mean, you're playing the offensive. You gotta like make a break somehow. You gotta shatter the glass in one way or another. And the closest we got was Bombi's bomb plant for the side of Syracuse. I got to 25 seconds before it was defused. But here we go, new round. You see RIT bottom left corner of your screen. They're playing sort of like an umbrella strategy, a split strategy. They're covering both bomb sites and really expanding their wings here on the map. And that's gonna pay off with Tub taking out Bombi early on in the game. But eventually, now you start to see them crumble together over to that B site, really focusing their efforts on A, But just as Bob did in that second round, Selion's going to do the same and flank those spawns.
RIT themselves, their captain has their first kill, Tub. As they push forward here on the map, Exposure has been pretty defensive-sided so far, as we mentioned. And so they're just going to wait for the teammates to come back up on that other end. Good job from Sweetsicle playing kind of that ambush angle. Sees one, jumps away. They're 6-3, having themselves a good game. Back on, Celion pushing themselves forward. Sweetsicle sees them behind them, gets some damage. Looking the wrong way, but they still get it. It's a pinch from RIT, and Syracuse goes down. Score will even at 3.
Yeah, I was going to say a huge 1v1 there that had to be won by Celion to keep that lead going, but RIT, Bob, would you know, is able to take care of business with 4KD right now, final kill. Great pinch, great coordination by RIT. And overall, I mean, they're looking, a little concerning right now on this search and destroy.
Yeah, Bob's been putting it together so far on that defensive end. 8-2 right now. It's been just stellar. Syracuse kind of struggling right now. Has almost gotten eliminated almost every round for Bombi and Celion. They've only lived one round together as we head into round 7. Minute 20 seconds to plant the bomb. Syracuse this time on the defense.
I wouldn't even say they're struggling. I just said they've met their match here, and in Search and Destroy, we've seen them so dominant. Now they're just being humbled right now, I guess. That you got to actually take the feet off the monitor and actually, lock in and get closer to the screen. Here we go. Initial engagements go through. Stepa just barely getting that first pick on Faded Crown. He's escaping by the skin on his teeth. Ooh. And Sweetsicle from Celion in the back, and RIT just known as being the fierce tigers that flank their prey. Syracuse Orange at this case, 3v4 situation. Syracuse trying to make a break over to the A-bomb site, but RIT's got their name written all over it.
Bombi is doing an absolutely stellar job. They get 2 on that RIT side after Celion goes down earlier. And now Bomb not down just yet, so he's still able to pick it up from that excursion. 30 seconds remain, and Sweetsicle will plant the bomb on the A site.
This is an opportunity for RIT to get their first, for the match at least, offensive round win. But with a 3v2 situation, RIT having absolutely no idea where Syracuse can be, and Syracuse having an idea where RIT can be, doesn't look too good so far. 30 seconds left, 7.5 seconds to fully defuse the bomb. No one's going to hop it quite yet. Bob just trying to see what's going on. And Bombi, that's his 3rd kill of the round. Could he get an ace? We'll see. Sweetsicle being the last alive, just sort of a mouse with cats playing with their prey. That's going to be Syracuse defusing the bomb with 10 seconds left to spare. And Carson, you mentioned it yourself. RIT made a critical mistake there. They had A site to plant the bomb, and for some reason, they kept trying their pride. And I'm not sure what else was driving them to go after Bombi, and they got two-pieced as a result.
Absolutely. Bombi's been hot all season and is showing it there. They get 3 this round as Syracuse able to defuse the bomb, keep that streak of 7 in a row now. Defenders winning as they try and flip that script here. Round 8, excuse me, as we jump into it, and Syracuse up 4-3. If everybody wins on defense, they'll win the game.
That's a good point. I think I spoke too soon, too, Carson, when I was like, I don't know if this will even go to round 11. Well, Caster's curse, unfortunately, has affected the Orange, but now, balls in their court, they can make history today if they get an offensive win against RIT, but it looks like it's going to be a B push. So I think the first time we see Syracuse Orange initiate a push of this kind, and it's going to be very aggressive. They're kind of waiting. RIT knows this, so they're going to sit back, put their feet up, and relax until that initial pinch goes through. But again, look at Sweetsicle. Another flank, but I think Syracuse this time is aware of the possibility of the flank, and they snoop him out.
Sweetsicle not even sure where it's coming from, has to jump back off, finally finds him in the other end, but Faded Crown gets Bombi on that other side. Sniper here for Bob as they get rid of BCL, and Syracuse is looking to unfortunately go 0-4 on that offensive side. They have the disadvantage, but there still is time and still is 40 seconds to go plant that bomb. Steppa found in that other end. They take some damage as from Tub. They're looking for their second kill of the round. The captain of this RIT Tigers squad moving back into that other end. Steppa gets one. It's not Tub. It's the other one. Came to reinforce Sweetsicle. They push together as a team through that wall. Tub backs off, trying to push forward once more. Steppa gets another kill, and now we're even. 24 seconds remain for the Orange. Back in that other side, they both get caught together, and RIT goes 4-0 on defense. Syracuse falls to 0-4 on defense.
I was going to say, Carson, RIT has just mastered just messing with the minds of Syracuse as they linger in their back spawn. Celion did see Sweetsicle for quite some time messing around in the spawns, and he kind of went undetected and unnoticed. A couple of love taps here and there, but overall, no real elimination was made, and as a result, that causes people like Celion and the rest of the Orange to just panic a little bit and be like, oh, I have someone in our spawn, what do we do, where do we go? And RIT just taking complete advantage of that. So 2 seconds left, 4-4 on the scorecard. Statistically, Syracuse should take this round away.
We'll have to see. They'll hope that that streak continues. Faded Crown with that good 2K to end it there. They'll put themselves third in the team in kills. They stay, rather, as Bob, again, with that sniper, has been real hot as they've switched to it. Celion goes down, and the Orange have a disadvantage early on that defensive end. Sweetsicle catches one, not looking. Back on that other end, that's 3 immediately. As it's just BCL versus the world, the captain of the Syracuse squad. The only one left alive as they come in from a different angle here, trying to find their best on that B site. Sniper gets picked up again by a different teammate. They push forward. Bomb goes down, he pushes forward, and unfortunately can't get much there. Good angle held by RIT, and Syracuse has finally fallen behind so far. You think you lose so many times in the offensive end, and lose so many times in the defense, win so many times in the defensive end, something has to give, and unfortunately it's the Orange.
Well, RIT proved our stats wrong. First offensive win goes to the gents in white and black over on their side. BCL, unfortunately, you get into a situation, I know it all too well. I'm washed now, but when I played competitive COD, when you're alone in a 1v3 situation, you start to panic, and kind of what I feel like BCL did a little bit there. He had some time to play with still, but unfortunately, when you're in a situation where everyone's watching and you got 3 people hovering over B, doesn't usually work out in your favor. So unfortunately as well, BCL kind of forgot the bomb. 5v4 situation. You're going to see the Syracuse Orange play a little bit slower here, Carson, because if they don't, it'll mean the difference between the map, and just like that, Celion completely making me eat my words.
They take their brand, and they're kind of just going to stay with it. Celion gets a second one there. Sweetsicle tries to catch them off guard, was waiting, but cannot get much of anything there. They get some damage, but not enough. The last 2 RIT Tigers wait in their own spawn as they head towards that B site. Syracuse just waiting on that other end. It's going to be a bit of a flank here from RIT, who's going to come at it from a different angle. Bomb will go down in time. They'll jump away, and BCL, oh my goodness, gets turned away. Back on that other side, a good shot from Bob. They get another one, and suddenly from 3-on-2, it's now 1-on-2. Bombi has to clutch it here, has the advantage of them needing to defuse. Back on that other end, good flank, get rid of Faded Crown. Back once more, Bob up top with the sniper. Does some damage there, has to reload. Jumping into that right corner once more. He'll take a break here. He throws out that stun. Gonna try and go after him after that, and he tries to get the defuse off. Caught his bluff. RIT
Huge.
goes down, and we're back to round 11.
Huge round for Syracuse, and I was exactly going to say, Bombi, you got to do that. You cannot be pushing someone with a sniper and as deadly with a high KD as Bob is, and he did just that. He waited until the last possible moment, really thread the needle, and got the kill as Bob was just 2 seconds away from completing that defuse. A beautiful textbook Bombi, and you know that's when the coach starts to feel good about coaching Syracuse.
Nate has done an excellent job this season. That is Bombi, BDJ major, broadcast digital journalism, and has been cooking so far. 10-7, second in the round in kills. Bob has been on fire, just over a 3 KD. 5-5, round 11. Orange will take the offense this time.
Comes around, over to B they go. RIT might not be prepared. Syracuse with this new lifeline here, energized by that round win. They got to get the first pick here, and Bombi does it. Does it well, and that's going to allow that opening made. You see RIT's retracting a little bit, and the flank from Tub is going to be what shortly follows, but he's caught out right away. Great positioning for this Bob plan. Bob falls down. 2v3 situation.
Good job from Bombi. That's a kill streak of 5 now. Jumping in once more. Plant will go down from the captain, BCL. And only one remain. It's the captain, Tub. Hasn't gotten a kill since round 2, and they go down. Syracuse wins 6-5, round 11. My goodness.
That is all she wrote for Search and Destroy. RIT comes out swinging, but ultimately it's going to be the gents in Syracuse, New York that throw the knockout punch. And what a fantastic way to end map number 2. Then Bombi closing it out and clutching up in that potential map 1 loss when he got that bomb defuse kill, on Bob. Once I saw that Syracuse took out Bob from that top there over that B bomb site, I knew that they felt confident. I knew that they were flowing, and I knew that there was a good chance that we're going to pull this one away.
Taking a good look there at Bombi. That's Nate. He's been very, very good so far this season. We're going to see what just kind of he can do as they kind of just jump around. The Syracuse squad has been very good so far, and obviously they come back. They really struggle on that offense. Last 2 rounds win on offense to bring themselves into round 11, and the second round to win round 11. It's been a good job for this squad. Kind of all around on that search and destroy end for RIT as well. They played really well. Bob was kind of the determining factor there for the Tigers.
Yeah, he definitely carried, but not enough. And I'll tell you what, this is BCL that you're seeing on screen right now. He started with the COD team back a freshman year, and now he's a senior, and this is going to be his last match from Andover, Massachusetts. He's studying sports management at the Falk School of Sport, and let me just say, this man is dedicated to his craft, and his craft is Call of Duty, and when he stays dedicated to something, he sees it through. So those 4 years with the Syracuse Orange as the captain, as the leader, he wore many hats as well, even before Syracuse Esports became a varsity level D1 program. So if you want to thank somebody for all of the accolades that the Call of Duty team has been able to achieve, you want to thank this guy. You want to see, he's smiling on screen. He's feeling good about himself. What a fantastic performance from the Syracuse Orange. He's just kind of looking at his own teammates and reaping the rewards of what he has sowed.
They're shipping him off to New York City to work, as we've seen, as we'll jump back into the replay really quickly, see kind of how that one played out. Syracuse, very good on that defensive end, same with RIT. Both teams kind of just exchanged blows, tried to win on offense, but it was kind of an unstoppable force versus a very movable object, it felt like.
Yeah, and overall, RIT did, again, they definitely threw some punches, and a few of them hit for Syracuse, especially there with, on the opposite side of the spectrum with the overextension. Just little tiny errors like that RIT had committed really allowed Syracuse to eat all that up. And, of course, play of the game, I would definitely say, if we had one of those University Auto the Orange play of the game, would go to Bombi for today. And not just for that final kill there in round 10, but also round 11 where he's able to clutch up, take out Bob, and get the final kill as well.
I think he aced round 11 now that I think about it. I think he got every single kill because he got Bob at the end as well as the captain Tubbs. So very good job from Bombi there, who was kind of struggling about 8 and 7 and kind of just turned it up right there at the end when they needed to. Good clutch gene right there.
Yeah, fantastic guy. He's got a great personality, too. Really funny. You see someone that plays that well, that serious, with that much mechanics. You go up to him, you're like, hey, fantastic job. He's like, I'm just playing COD, man. That's all we're really doing. Playing on a default DualShock controller, by the way. Not playing on a Scuff, not playing on a Battle Beaver, not playing on a DualSense Edge. He plays on the bare bones PlayStation controller that usually would come with the Christmas box of the PlayStation 5. But enough of the talk of Bombi and the rest of the Syracuse Orange. It's a best of 7, so we're going into map number 3. This is going to be a Overload Scar. So as I mentioned earlier, it's not going to be Control. It's going to be Overload, a mode where Uplink kind of makes a comeback in the Call of Duty scene. Think of this as capture the flag, but instead of there being one place you can place the flag, it's 2 areas in general. So there's going to be an uplink station that's going to be put in the middle of the map at the start, and that rotates around every once in a while. Whichever team takes it has to take it to the opposing team's little circle you'll see illuminated, and that'll score some points. First one that gets to 4 will end the round, and then 8 will end the entire game, and then they'll switch sides. So kind of like soccer, basketball, I don't know, with guns.
Oh my goodness, Stepa gets off to a great start too there immediately. This is a respawn game mode, just for you keeping in mind. It's going to be a good start for Syracuse in this BO7. They go up immediately. They're trying to get up 3-0 here. Faded Crown gets one pushing forward. They get that to uplink. They're moving now forward to one of those 2 targets. They drop it in that other section, just kind of waiting down low in that store.
Yeah, 3 in the feed, 4 Syracuse, make it 4. So that means RIT is going to be sent all the way to the respawn screens. That overload station is going to be stuck in shop. And it kind of just looks right now, Carson, like it's going to be a TDM. That's intentional. They want to make sure, whichever team has it, that they completely wipe out the map before they start moving. Because the other thing, you'll see right now on the screen, Bombi's completely highlighted in yellow. Well, he's going to stay highlighted on our screens and the players' teams as well, but it doesn't matter. He gets 2 in the feed, shortly being humbled after that. So whoever has that uplink, Carson, will be outlined on the map, and they'll know exactly where he's located. So you got to be really intentional when you have it in your hand.
Okay, we'll also see the players are eliminated. 3 right here, potentially for Stepa. Kind of gets stuck between the 2. I'll be coming back after that 5 kill streak. Now has 6, trying to get another one started. A hot hand for the Orange. Back on that other end, jumping down low. Goes down to, that's the second one, excuse me, for Tubb. He's doing a very good job down low. Trying to push that team forward. Really struggling so far, the captain for RIT.
Yeah, and you're going to notice, Carson, this just looks awkward, and that's intentional. This isn't Control. This is a brand new mode that's been added to Call of Duty, so it's going to be difficult to see anyone really make much progress here in the first 3 minutes of the half. And just like that, though, RIT doing a decent job of locking down the orange spawn. You see Sweetsickle trying to get the top window, not going to happen, and as a result, Fade will also fall. Now, the uplink is kind of stuck in Syracuse's spawn, so if you're going to be Syracuse, you want to grab it and just kind of move it out as quick as possible, and the man that's going to do that is going to be BCL, leading the charge of the Orange, trying to get it out, and he makes a wise decision to just rotate back and wait for Celian to do some damage, get a 2-piece, and then eventually rotate over to that left side of the map.
A lot of college football happening today. He's got a running lane, but there's one on that other side. Bombi goes down. BCL will have to get extinguishing Faded Crown, but
huge kill.
They're both struggling. They go down. BCL gets caught there, but Faded Crown does as well. Uplink still there for the taking, with room to run over there. One on the other side, it's Tubb. Stepa tries to get rid of them and clear that lane again for somebody. Pick that uplink up. It'll likely be them or Bombi, whoever's in the area. As Bombi comes out once again. But more Tigers here, kind of reinforcing that long section.
Yeah, and that's a good position for it to be at. Obviously, when things happen and nobody grabs the overload, it gets reset over to the middle of the map. So that's exactly what just happened. And, well, we saw Stepa get shut down from a 5 streak as well in that. So RIT kind of bringing the tide back over to the Tigers as Bombi temporarily silences that. Faded Crown, another Syracuse not getting away with the flanks this game. And you start to see, although Tubb, he's going to try to get through a flank. He gets 1 kill. That's on BCL. See if he can get a second in that Syracuse spawn. Yes, he does. Doing a lot of damage. You see in the bottom left corner of your screen, that's the #1 player right now. He's about to get his 3rd. If he can take out Bombi, he won't be able to do it. I was going to say, if he takes out Bombi, it's a big opportunity for RIT. But as a result, Syracuse sees RIT, hits the respawns, and they're going to start moving.
Talk about hot hands. It's Bombi and Stepa, excuse me, for the Orange. As Bombi gets their second 5 streak of the game to shortly be eliminated afterwards. Coming to that other side, they have uplink, and he might go all the way. A touchdown, if you will. 1 point for the Orange. Stepa detonates on A. Now the winner will be, A site will basically go away for a little bit of time, and they'll have a bit of a buffer as they'll wait for the uplink to come in that top section of the map, which you can see in the bottom left. That is the map of we are looking at.
Yeah, so the overload is spawned in, and just like that, BCL is going to grab it. Bob, the crucial change maker here from that top window. It's going to be hard for him to take out. He's hitting that top heady. Bombi again doing damage. That's 2 off. Celian with a 3rd. 1 more left, and just like that, Syracuse is going to score on that A site. 2-0. RIT They were, holding their own for a little bit there, but once Stepa, Bombi, BCL, Celion got to work, it was hard to get them to stop. 28 seconds left in this round.
BCL picks it up for the third time, scored the first two. Can't play their primary weapon when they do have it. They'll do some damage, but goes down in the process. Has had it for so long, just kind of can't get that primary out. Stepa again hot. 18 and 10 now after that 2 kill. Celion gets rid of Sweetsicle. It'll open up a lane if somebody wants to grab it, but there just won't be enough time. Talk a lot about soccer. It's a lot more akin to this because a 2-0 lead is so hard to overcome, and RIT just won't do it.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of the round right now. RIT 0, Syracuse 2. And it seemed like for quite some time that Syracuse was at a little bit of a stalemate with RIT, but not necessarily. Once they got that first deposit of the overload station, they started to get that rhythm going. They started to feel more like they were back in home, back in hardpoint, back in the S&D scenario. So brilliant job from Syracuse coming on top. Round number 1. Again, Overload's a really hard mode to learn. It's so new, especially at a competitive level. So even though they didn't hit the initial 4 deposit count, it's still good to see that they put at least 2 on the board.
Good best play here from Stepa, who went 18 to 12 in the first half. It's going to be a difficult kind of second half to get back from. We'll see what they can do. RIT going to jump into this one, but a very good start for the Orange here. Up 2-0. Going to have a lot of time to move and a lot of time to go. See what they can do. They'll switch sides. Orange now have that bottom right section of the map. Top left belongs to the RIT Tigers. We'll see what they can do. Bombi leading the scoring and the killing.
Just like we see in basketball at halftime, they switch sides. Well, we're going to do it as well on Call of Duty. So Syracuse Orange will start on the opposite side. Initial engagement here will be won by Stepa, getting 1 and the second. Unlucky Semtex there, but Celion still will take out Bob in the process. So, RIT sent back to the respawns early, and early Syracuse will plant the flag, detonate on B, and set the pace early on, 0-3.
Ring the goal horn. It's 3-0 for the Orange. Just 4 minutes and 30 seconds remain for RIT to basically try and just tie it at all means. They get 1-2 for Stepa. Oh my goodness.
Oh
just
my lord.
On fire back in the other end. Bombi themselves tries to find one. Double headshot isn't enough as Tub very low goes down moments later to Stepa, who's been very hot to start the second half off. They'll move forward and try and make a lane open for their team.
Yeah, unbelievable. I could hear that from the booth as well, Carson. They got really vocal in the Shine Student Center here at Syracuse University, and this is one thing that we know in LAN environments. You start to see, well, another RIT detonation will happen on B, so that'll at least quiet the storm for quite a bit. But I was going to say, I thought they were rattled from all the screaming. It seems like it didn't do too much.
Tough spawns for the Orange. RIT kind of just able to pick it up where it was spawned, and they can just go up and run it through. Nobody even kind of went down at all during that situation. Celion jumping off the wall. Obviously more mobility in BO7 than there has been in some previous CODs. A bit of a callback to Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, excuse me, which I thought was way better than everybody else thought it was.
Yeah, well, you might be alone with that one, Carson. So, moving in now, Syracuse kind of left defending themselves in their own spawn. Celion on a 5 streak, so he's going to play his life a little bit. Stepa getting a little confident here, getting an initial engagement from mid-map, and he gets another kill with the pistol, which is going to allow a 360 detonation on the site. He's going absolutely nuts with a Jagger. Goodness gracious, that man's got to be really accurate. Someone check his PC after that nutty play.
Good golly, good start for him. Back on forward. Bombi gets one, moving to try and take that uplink. Take that. What even is it called?
You would call it like an overload or like I don't know, overload device.
I'm so used to uplink. Back on that other side, 5-1. Syracuse has the lead right now, and essentially with 2 minutes to go, if RIT doesn't start scoring soon, it's going to be wraps for them. Good start for the Orange. BCL gets another one, recovering after a tough first half. Now 10-14, 5-4 in the second half.
BCL has the device held tightly in hand. He's just kind of waiting for Celion to create a little bit of a path for him, and he does that with a nice kill and a nade that follows. Make it 3. Faded Crown back to the respawn screens, but unfortunately from top window, BCL will get caught lacking. So now Sweet Circle, desperate attempt to make a deposit, not able to do it. Bob, 2-pieced by Stepa. With 2 minutes left, RIT just trying to do something, throw the kitchen sink at it to get this device halfway across the map.
Kind of just team deathmatch now in that other section. RIT going to be able to move it forward just a little bit, but they're going to wait for the team. It is essentially football. You need your O-linemen, or I guess other players who can use their primary to help you go forward, and without it, it's just not going to work. Bomb goes down on the other end as Bob just has to let go of it. They move forward again. Syracuse trying to retake that link and get that goal once again in the other end. Target is there, but nobody there to help BCL, who just goes down to an RIT member waiting in the wings at A.
All orange in the feed primarily for the good portion of this map, but now RIT has a good chance of making this done. They're going to go through that left side of the map and make that push over to that A side. Trophy system is going to go down. BCL, last-ditch effort to get something done, and he's not able to. So just like that, actually, Stepa and Celion step up, and they deny that push last minute from going through. And so they'll just take the uplink, and they know exactly where RIT is going to be spawning out. So they'll rotate sort of against that, asymmetrical from that point. With a minute left, honestly, if you're Syracuse, you might just be doing exactly what Stepa's doing. Great strategy. I actually haven't seen this one employed before. They're holding on to the device to wait for the time to run out because they don't want it to spawn mid-map from it being idle.
Syracuse is trying to take as much space and create as much chaos as is possible for RIT, who has to basically get into the Syracuse zone either way and find somebody to get there, but there's not a lot of room for them to move around. BCL trying to find one. Hey, they thought they jumped. BCL fakes him out down low. 14-9 for the captain. So he gets another one. Sees a second one there, and he gets rid of him. Good hip fire, but goes down as they can't get across the street in time. Tub with a good kill there. 17-4. 2 for Tub. Back forward. Trying to score it. Back on the other side. Tub gets the kitchen sink there, but 5-2 with 15 seconds remaining. It's a good score for RIT, but won't do much but change the plus-minus in the stat sheet.
Yeah, Stepa's just going to hold on to that, and it's not going to do much, right? Because now the reset is going to go through with 4 seconds left. There's not much else that RIT can do at this point. So that was sort of the equivalent of like a QB kneel, or just kind of like running the clock if you're playing basketball, right? And that's Syracuse executing that lovely. They held on to that overload station as quick as possible, and you can see here at the Shine Student Center, we're getting really vocal with how we're satisfied with the Syracuse Orange parading on through 3-0 in this best-of-7 series. And yes, I can certainly agree, best play going through by Celion.
Celion, the freshman for the Orange, has done a very good job so far today. King Step, the freshman for the Orange, 33-21, did a good job as well today. Bombi led the kills for the Orange at 38-23. That guy's been on fire, but King Stepa, Jackson, New Jersey, Derek has been very good this season in this freshman year, an esports major here at Syracuse, and it's just been nothing but flames on that offensive end. He's done a really good job learning, taking the tougher competition in stride as he's gone through tough leagues like the PCL. So it's been a good season for him and the freshman.
I'm sure he's making all his professors in the esports management major proud with a fantastic showing. Evident by the replays here. We'll go to the replay booth. Bombi, early map. Yeah, you caught it quickly. Carson, a nice two-piece with the pistol out, and then Stepa as well with a nice two-piece. It's just two-piece galore right now. Buy one, get one free, the Syracuse Orange will say, as they dish out these kills. Bombi with another one. But really, Stepa just coming into clutch, and overall really setting the pace. It was a bit of a stalemate in that round one, but once RIT started to crack, Syracuse truly just exposed them to no levels.
As it was an overclaiming of BOGO so far. It felt Syracuse just taking more and more space, had more and more time. 4-1 turned into 5-1, then a 5-2. Not much that RIT could do, but just kind of try and score. But Syracuse did a good job kneeling. Stepa picked it up and was just sitting in the Syracuse zone with uplink that nobody could grab.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there putting his feet up. You know, if you want to take a drink of water or whatever, you can do that, chill out. But evident by that highlight reel, primarily dominating the Syracuse Orange. They definitely came to town, and they definitely sent a strong message that while this is a newer mode, it is certainly one that they've come to know and they've come to master once they get into the rhythm.
Yeah, Syracuse is going to go up 3-0 here on RIT. We'll move on to another hard point, I believe, as we jump into this Game 4 in just a moment. But it's been a very good season so far for Syracuse. Good send-off for the captain, Braden, who's moving on to New York City for bigger and better things like a job.
Oh, yeah, a job. What is that?
Scary word.
Us current full-time students. I'm not exactly sure what that is, no. But in all seriousness, it's going to be, you're right, Carson, it's going to be a hard point on Den. And Den's a newer map, obviously, added to the lineup. I'm a little ashamed that they're not they have a raid. Okay, so we do have a raid, which is going to be a classic. But first, CDL hardpoint is going to be on Den, and that's only if Syracuse doesn't pull through and wins this, and therefore wins the series. So just so all the viewers are knowing and listening at home, if Syracuse does come ahead in this hardpoint, which, well, last time we saw them on hardpoint, it was quite a disaster, then they'll take home the entire series.
Yeah, disaster for the other squad, to be clear. RIT Didn't get to 100 points last time. Syracuse 250 to about the 80-90 mark for the Tigers. Tough scenes for them as we jump into Den. A very wide open map, one of the bigger ones in BS7. It's going to be a lot of fun here for Syracuse, who I think is going to just have a really good time because of how this game is set up. It's going to be a lot of one-on-ones. That's what they're hoping for.
P1 usually just stacks body. That's what its purpose is. It's what everyone gets all the nervousness and the gunfights out. Bob doing the same thing, getting the first initial pick. BCL with his BCL nade, returning the favor as well. And just like that, Bob's still going. That's 4 before he eventually gets taken out. Off to the races, these fine gentlemen go on to P1. Syracuse will touch first. A stun will go through as well. RIT trying to come up with a strategy here. P1 time doesn't matter all too much. You need to get in play for those P2 spawns. So if you're RIT, yes, shoot at Syracuse, try to get him off a point, but also worry about those P2 spawns, which is what exactly Syracuse is starting to do, evident by the number 6, number 8 player in the bottom left corner. That's Bombi and Stepa leading the charge.
Sophomore and freshman moving towards that top section. You see that lock is where the new point will be. 2 members will stay and try and keep get as many points out of this hard point as they can in the last 5 seconds, but they'll move on, go head over towards that other site. Towards that section, it's going to be that new hard point, a full minute between each hard point on balcony this time. That destructive section back up top. Stepa trying to get rid of one. They will, but traded as another one goes down. Faded Crown able to get rid of Stepa after Celion and Stepa get to themselves. They go down in that section as Bombi retakes point for the Orange.
Bombi retakes point, but not for long. Sweet Circle left last on the point, but unfortunately he's going to fall, so it's just trades galore right now on Den over to P2. Stun's going to go in as well. RIT trying to make a play here and make a break that actually lasts longer than 3 seconds. Bob's going to do it. What do you know? Faded Crown as well. 3 pistols in the feed will be enough for RIT to get a breath of fresh air as this P2 goes through. You got to wonder now, cost-benefit analysis, if you're Syracuse, Stepa makes it easy. Do you leave the point or take the scraps? And Stepa planting the flag down says, I'm hungry, I want the scraps, and over to P3. Bombi will dominate that rotation again. 1v1 will ensue between Sweet Circle and him, and ultimately they're kind of stuck at a stalemate right now.
Sweet Circle is able to win that one as Bombi kind of jumps off, has connection to the map, could be contested in a moment if Sweet Circle wants to stand on. They're looking in the right way. Tub goes down, or rather Tub's up after Sweet Circle goes down. BCL goes down. For Tub going to get one, have to back off here as Bombi goes down. Orange still point still belonging to almost nobody, as there's only one on for RIT, who finally has themselves a point for a few more moments.
A few more minutes.
Excuse me.
A few more moments, few more minutes. Bombi, though, says, I don't care about the time, I want it. And just like that, gets another one. Stepa and Bombi right now, the dynamic duo leading the charge right now for the Syracuse Orange in these retakes. Faded Crown finding 1 and 2. Not able to do too much damage, though. Castellion waiting on the other side. I'm sure grinning as he gets a nice 2-piece on the hill. But still, scraps are winning over to the side of RIT, so this is a much-needed hill time. 51-62. P4 will open up shortly. And what do you know? Is waiting on the other side. BCL, the captain, senior, just waiting for a pick to go through as Faded Crown is unsuspecting. And yes, he will be taken out of the process. Meanwhile, some extracurriculars will ensue, and Syracuse will hold on to the point.
They'll head into Throne here on that other section as they wait here on hard point. Kind of on that weird section. You can wait out on the roof, which creates some difficulties trying to get to and from. Bombi does a good job distracting at that window. Bob pushing forward as after BCL goes down, going in. They have possession of point on that edge, as now they just have to wait. Bombi goes down, and RIT is going to have the point for a few more moments here. Syracuse still leads 86 to about 63.
This is a great time, too, if you're RIT to get a retake. You got 30 seconds to play with here, and 30 seconds should put you just over Syracuse. And Celion, though, he wants it. He's hungry, just like Bombi was early on. So he's going to be taken out of the process. Syracuse kind of seems like they're lacking a little bit here with the retake, but just as I say that, Bombi and BCL, they're like puzzle pieces meshing together to create the bigger picture of those scraps. So 74-92. RIT, they're starting to drift away right now, Carson. It's not looking too good. If you want to bring this to a map number 5, you got to do it and win this hard point.
Step it together as BCL gets one with the knife. Celion and Bombi collect again for 2. Hard point is on that other end towards the middle.
P1.
Once again, it's back to P1 as you mentioned, as it's going to be Bombi and BCL who lead the charge towards point. BCL going to be the one that remains on hard point, especially in this one. It's very difficult. There's no real kind of cover around. Bombi able to get one, keep that point for a little bit longer. Bob and Faded Crown go down. And again, RIT struggling at P1. It's been kind of even everywhere else, but here they just can't do anything.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do right now. I mean, RIT is just kind of being put into the blender right now, and, well, they've been able to turn it off and get out of the blender. Bob and Faded Crown able to take 3 out and get that hill time back, but not before the damage has been done. 14 seconds left and counting. The hill is 60, so Syracuse got a solid 75% of that hill time. It's reflected onto the scorecard as well. Celion, being hungry as always for those scraps, will be humbled this time around as Bombi falls. New point arises, and this time, Carson, RIT is going to be the first one to make that rotation possible. So now, ball's in your court. Syracuse, you got to make a break and make it quick. Otherwise, RIT will be tailing right behind you.
Celion's been a good glue guy for the Syracuse squad right now. Second in scoring. All of the Orange have 12 to 14 kills. Good job for them. They've been playing together very well as a team, getting the trades as they need to. Only one member of RIT, or 2 members, excuse me, in double digits. They jump off back on that other side. Steppa gets 2, nearly 3 goes down to Tub. Back on that other end. Celion still there waiting on that hard point. 140 to 102 for the Orange. If they lead and do a good job of trying to hold this point for as long as possible, I'm just going to make sure they get the scraps as well. Good start for them as Celion, Steppa get 2. Bob gets rid of Steppa, and the Orange are slipping a little bit of their claim at this point.
Just over 150 for the Syracuse Orange here on Den. It'll be 160 if that contest doesn't go through. Yes, it does. 7 seconds of scraps. Every second counts. Won't leave a mark. But you got to question RIT whether or not if it would have been smarter for you to make that rotation, and they do, because they do have spawns in their favor. Not for long, though, because Bombi and Celion just dominating again in that feed. Doing a fantastic job at that. New hill has opened up. 50 seconds left. Syracuse, they hold this whole hill. They'll be at 200 just about. And RIT starting to get a little nervous here, starting to get a little anxious as to what the series could turn out to.
Lead slowly increasing for the Orange. They don't have possession of the point right now. It's RIT who is at 120, now almost down just 30 at this point. Only down by a few, a little bit earlier, but as P3 comes through, Syracuse able to clear it. Nobody able to get on just in time. BCL waits. Now belongs to RIT. Back on that other end, they push forward. Syracuse trying to get a good team together. Try and put this with just 15 seconds remaining. Get some points as they see fit.
Whoa.
Make sure RIT doesn't get those scraps. BCL with the kill there.
7 seconds left. Syracuse just stubborn like cockroaches. Once they lose the point, they don't go away. They just keep going and throw everything at it until RIT just eventually falls. But now Tub waiting over to that next point. He's all alone, and look at the sea of orange in the bottom left corner of your screen. That's going to eventually surround him. Reinforcement trying to go through. Faded Crown and Bob just shoving their way through the crowd, but too little too late, because now BCL will finally get pinched. If they can hold these next 40 seconds, RIT will be in a good position, but it's one thing we know about the Syracuse Orange. It's just they don't know when to quit, and just like that, there's one pick that goes through. It's not able to do enough damage. RIT looking at, for the first time in a while, almost full hill hold.
That's been a good start. They lost the first 15 seconds to the Orange as the BCL just kind of sat there waiting. 15 seconds remain. Kind of a similar story. Syracuse starts with the point and ends with the point. Kind of everything in the middle to the Tigers. But that lead increasing again. Syracuse has it back over 30.
Steppa, he's lined up right here, and I get a 3-piece if he's not careful over this P1. P1's going to open up in just a second. He finds 1. He can find another. Yes, there's 2. The third, probably trembling in his boots right now. Steppa, not able to do much. And now Bob is back to Beeman. 200 points. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 250 to win this map. So Syracuse hitting that 200-point mark is like your heart sinks, your stomach drops if you're RIT. So they're fighting to the bittersweet end to at least get something, anything on this P1, and just like that, they'll be the first to plant the flag. A little bit of breath of fresh air before Syracuse goes into those respawns.
Good hold from RIT here as they kind of have full control over P1. Struggled earlier with it, trying to kind of get that lead down now to almost 30. As they kind of have lost it and got down all the way down to 60 at a certain point, putting it back together, but Syracuse is going to take it in the end. They officially hit 200, now with a lead of 40.
RIT needs like a full hill hold here to really bring this back and then scare Syracuse. It's 60 seconds per hill, so if they're able to do that, they'll be at just under 250. So we really want to see that right now if you're RIT, but... Excuse me, 220, but Syracuse is going to be the first one there. P2 planting the flag that can win it at this point. All things have become a little more desperate. RIT trying to make a break. Bob and Tub doing the same. Tub was going to fall. Bob's still there, though, trying to win that 1v1. He's not able to do it. Steppa steps up and is able to take care of business. Gets the second one. 2:32 left. Steppa on a streak of 3. BCL doing all the same, just like that. Stepa another. Sweetsicle gets a kill, but overall, the respawns, everything, the orange, just too overwhelming for RIT. This could be it right here, right now. 20 seconds left, 1 second left, that's it. The Syracuse orange take it home, win the series, and sweep RIT.
A 4-0 win for this Syracuse squad over RIT. A good match to end the semester and end the career of the storied Braden Chevrolet Leonard. Good best play here from Stepa. Really took a step up. Haha. As they go back on that other end. Get a crucial point. P3 off that start of the game. Did a really good job. Got a 3 kill. Got some stun. And got 2 assists in that chaos.
What a fantastic performance by the Syracuse Orange, that hard point. That was electrifying me. I remember when I was a freshman and Syracuse was just competing as a club team and I'd cast their games and I was all excited for my dorm room. Now seeing just how much the production and the quality of the team in general has been elevated and taking care of business tonight. Not only just beating RIT, the other orange, but sweeping them in the process. That hard point was beautiful to see just overall, because there were some times where they would falter, but the falters didn't last all too long. They knew when to take care of things. They knew when to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and they knew when to bring the win home.
Yes, good job from Syracuse there. You talk a lot about kind of playing as a team. Did a really good job there. It's been kind of the memo, just learning how to play as a team, learning that team chemistry as this program develops. One of the earliest teams in this program's hopefully storied history as it develops. But yeah, it's just been excellent for them. Do you have any parting words, my friend?
Well, I will say this. I had a conversation with their coach right before this series started, and he said one of the most frustrating things about coaching collegiate versus professional is when players are told one thing, they don't do it. They don't act on it. It seems like today Coach Zed is going to be very happy, maybe a trip to, I don't know, what they get, a team dinner or something to treat them, because they've done a fantastic job at listening, and clearly they've practiced, and that right now is the rewards that they get to reap. So that's all it is for me right now from the booth. Will Delgado and Carson Cass. Really excited, really happy that the Syracuse Orange is able to end their series as a COD team on this note for this season. But we'll see you all very soon, and thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support, all the fans, the production crew. I don't know if you have any other parting words for them.
No, a huge thank you to the individuals who showed up today in the crowd. Really appreciate you guys creating a really lovely atmosphere. But as we jump through the last replays here, Syracuse, really good job here on Den. 4-0, a good high note to end it on this season.
Yeah, good high note, to say the least, and a lot of good replays to see. So, From the booth, from the production crew, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in on the broadcast. Thank you for the support. Tune in on this YouTube channel every week where we have our PEC matches to showcase and some more Syracuse action in all of the different AAA titles that we compete in.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Live from Syracuse University, I've been Carson Cass, Will Delgado. Thank you very much.